All right, guys, more huge news, more breaking news coming out of the LOL esports world today. We now know where Jojo Pune is going to be playing for next season. There's been a lot of talk and discussion about Jojo Pune, obviously dating back to even just earlier this offseason with all the Cloud9 drama, controversy, whatever was going on, and even dating back to like the LCS playoffs too, I guess. You know, the fact that Cloud9 had this super team that didn't even qualify for Worlds was this huge, big disaster. And then we get the news of Cloud9, you know, wanting to move on from Jojo. Jojo has this tardiness issue. He was late however many times they're claiming or whatever the heck is going on. And then obviously Cloud9 and Jojo end up breaking off that contract. He's removed from the global contract database. All this insanity, all this craziness. And then it led into this very big free agency for Jojo Pune. Where was he going to go? Were there going to be options in North America? I know a lot of people were like, oh, it'd be awesome to see Jojo Pune and Inspire teaming up once again. I know some people were like, oh, it'd be cool to see Jojo on 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves big brand mixing up with Jojo Pune, who's this huge brand character and personality as well. I know Shopify Rebellions was a name we saw thrown around. And then all of a sudden we hear about Jojo maybe wanting to go to Europe, which is something we truly haven't seen a ton of, or if really at all, for a top tier North American player and prospect to transfer over to Europe. But guess what? Like I said, we now know where he's playing. And this news comes from Alejandro Gomis, who has been absolutely going crazy this offseason. He has been absolutely killing it. I know he's like not sleeping a lot. He's grinding. He's on that thing. He's doing an amazing job. Obviously, we are very lucky to have him a part of our Sheep Esports team right now. But he tweeted out, I guess the Sheep Esports account tweeted out this story from him. Jojo Pune is set to join Mad Lions Koi in the LEC. This is insane. This is a banger. This was something that I wasn't even expecting to happen tonight. Even, I'm connected. I'm talking to these guys. I'm hearing what's going on. But we had previously even talked about on the Sheep Esports like podcast or show or whatever that it seemed like this was going to take a while to get done. I think it was Alejandro that said Jojo was actually taking some time to get this deal done, to make a decision on his future, because he wasn't necessarily sure what he wanted to do, I don't think, but also the fact that he wanted to actually make a good decision and make sure he was in a good situation after all the Cloud9 drama, all the stuff that happened. You know, he didn't want to end up in a bad situation for him that was maybe going to steer his career in the wrong direction, because like I said, this past year with Cloud9, it was a lackluster year in terms of results, and then this drama, it took a hit to his reputation. It took a hit to, maybe his career in some ways. But now going to Mad Lions Koi, this is insane. Like I said, one of the big, real North American prospects we've seen over in Europe. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how this plays out, because guess what? If he goes over to Europe and he's a beast, well, hey, North American fans are going to have some trash talk. They're going to be able to say, hey, see, us North American players and even us North American mid laners, which we don't see hardly ever, we can go toe-to-toe with the top European talent. And guess what? If Jojo goes over there and sucks, this is going to be meme to death. And if we see Jojo be successful, we might actually see more North American players follow suit as well, using Jojo Pune as an example of, how things can work out and how successful it can potentially be, which could be very, very interesting. And I know we've heard word of maybe some other players, even guys like Spica, maybe potentially wanting to move over to Europe as well, which would be very, very fun to see. But this is also great news for the LEC, because, hey, Jojo Pune, like I said, is a big name, not only is he a big talent, but he's a big personality and a big brand. He is going to bring fans over with him, which is going to be great. And obviously Mad Lions already has a rabid fan base, and Jojo Pune has been seeing plenty of that. On all of Jojo Pune's tweets recently, the Spanish fans have been coming out in full force. They did an awesome job recruiting him. They did an awesome job showing him some love, which is really cool. Even after some of the drama and controversy and in the down season he and Cloud9 had in the past year, people still were really vouching for him in full force. So I did want to take a look at this article from Alejandro real quick, see what we can get going on here. Jojo Pune reaches verbal agreement to join Mad Lions Koi in the LEC. Jojo Pune has reached a verbal agreement to play for Mad Lions Koi next year, according to Sheep Esports sources. After a disappointing year on Cloud9, the 20-year-old Canadian prodigy, I believe he just recently turned 20 years old as well, so he's like on the very, very young side of 20, is set to leave the LCS behind. Mad Lions Koi allowed their mid laner for Scowie to explore options last week. They've now found his replacement. In spring 2021, his first LCS split, Jojo seemed to define the league with Evil Geniuses. They won the first LCS trophy he was old enough to compete for. Only 2 years prior, he wasn't even seriously playing the game until January 2020. He was an active Fortnite esports player, which is super hilarious. But less than a year later, at age 16, he signed to EG Academy. He's one of the greatest talents NA has ever produced, a testament to the LCS maligned development system. Next year, though, he'll play in the LEC. So yes, this is crazy. We now know where Jojo Pune's future has Like I said, this is a huge brand, a huge personality, a huge team, or a huge name matching up with another huge brand, huge personality, and huge team in Mad Lions Koi, Ibai. But also one of the biggest things here is that this is him teaming up with El Yoya in the jungle. Now, I'm sure most people do suspect that this pairing will work out very, very well. Obviously, we know Jojo Pyun is a guy who likes to play aggressive. He wants to be in your face. He wants to, be playing crazy. He's obviously can be a little bit resource intensive, and we saw that maybe the pairing of Jojo Pyun and Blabber together this past year didn't work out the best. So will this pairing of El Yoya and Jojo Pyun work out a little bit better? Obviously, a lot of people are hoping so. And we know that Jojo Pyun has teamed up with European junglers in the past and been exceptionally well, in terms of their results, with obviously Jojo Pyun and Inspired meshing seemed like on and off the rift very, very well. So that's going to be what's interesting to see here. Are El Yoya and Jojo Pyun able to play well off of each other? Are they able to, do the right things? And is there going to be enough resources to go around for El Yoya, who likes to be a, carry-oriented player, who likes to pop off, who likes to win games, and Jojo Pyun as well, who wants to be making plays and wants gold and wants to, pop off and do damage and get kills and all this stuff. Obviously, Mad Lions Koi is betting on the fact that they will be able to do just that. I think the other interesting thing to note here is that Mad Lions Koi is now, I believe, our third completed LEC roster for next season, because we did have Ibai talking a little bit about yesterday how Merwin, El Yoya, Supa, and Alvaro are pretty much locked in 100% for next year. So now they should have a full 5-man roster in there. And obviously Mad Lions Koi this past season, very, very up and down. But I think Frescowi was overall a lot of the place where people were pointing the most question marks, pointing the most fingers, having the most issues. So now not only finding a replacement for him who's an upgrade, but potentially a very, very massive upgrade. At his best, Jojo Pyun was one of the best players in the entire LCS, and I think at his best could be one of the best players in the LEC as well. Another big thing here that a lot of people are talking about and are excited for and are watching out for is how Jojo Pyun is going to match up to Caps, because there has been talk lately that, previously and historically, the LEC mid lane level is insane and it's talented and it's Caps and Perks and taking on all these other names. But lately, the LEC mid lane talent pools maybe dropped off a little bit, and Caps maybe hasn't had as much competition or hasn't been pushed as hard. And when Caps and G2 don't get pushed as hard, maybe they're not as ready for international competition. So not only will it be curious to see if Jojo can truly go toe-to-toe with Caps, but how Jojo and Caps are both able to evolve over the course of a year of scrimming against each other, playing against each other, and maybe, even competing for titles against each other, which is a very, very big thing. Because again, this Mad Lions Koi team put together looks fierce, looks intense, looks amazing. This team could be insanely strong. Now, are we going to get 2022 Jojo? Are we going to get 2024 Jojo? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. But the talent, the potential on paper, this roster is there. And this is obviously something very, very exciting for LEC fans, for Jojo fans, for, I guess, Mad Lions Koi fans. Like, this is a big deal. This is huge news. This is getting something absolutely insane done. And like I said, depending on how this plays out, it could really affect the future of a lot of other North American players and European rosters as well. If NA and some of their top talents really becomes a place to actually import from and get some talent, could be a very, very big deal, but we'll have to wait and see. That's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Did want to mention real quick, of course, as always, everything we're doing, all of our offseason coverage is powered by Holy. Make sure you guys check out that first link in the description below. Use discount code SE5 to get €5 off your first purchase, or SE10 to get 10% off your entire basket. Thank you so much to Holy. They are great tasting energy drinks. They also just so happen to be healthier than the competition. If you want to help support everything we're doing here on Sheep Esports, from YouTube to Twitch to articles to Twitter to the website, that is the best way to do so. Go buy some Holy, show them some love, and we would appreciate it a ton. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Until then, peace.